just less than a year ago. This time last year I was not a consultant. And right now I have earned the cruise and I'm a team leader and I have too many books, not enough bookshelves at home. So, and one of the things that I attribute that to is doing booths over the last year to help my business. On our team, and has a new consultant, there's a consultant success plan to help train you and get you going. One of the videos in that I believe Jill made, or was her got the consultant success plan from her, was that hearing no is not a bad thing. It just means it's not the right time for them. They don't think they need it. They may have other commitments, different things. So it's not a personal thing when you hear no. But we know we have awesome books and want everybody to hear them. So we need to offer them. And to me, that was very freeing because I didn't want to hear no. But knowing that it wasn't a no for me, it was just a no, not right now. It was a no to the books, not to me. So with that, I set off 1 week as a consultant. I saw the preschool down the street was having a carnival, and they wanted vendors. Preschoolers, kind of our target market. So I contacted my team leader, Stephanie, who's over here, and borrowed books from her, had my kit, and I had a booth at their carnival. So when you're doing a booth, there's usually an investment fee. So I had to pay $25 to set up for that day. I gave away $25 in books, and I had $20 in sales. I only took orders because I only had kits. I was brand new, didn't understand very much. So that's what I earned that day. And I had a stack of contact cards to follow up. When I got home, wasn't sure what it was a success. As I've looked at my calendar over the last year, I can trace back to that event that I've had 4 parties, totaling over $1,000 in sales. I have had a recruit, and I got another booth invitation out of that event as well. So, was it a successful event? Yes. Was it worth my $25? Yes. So, booths are an important part of your business, but they can be a lot of work. It could because, just like that booth, you may not see the results of it right away. So, but you want to do booths. It's an important tool to have to get outside of your circle of friends. So if you're doing Facebook parties and your Facebook parties dry up, what's one thing you can do to get more parties is you can do a booth in your community. You can also, you can build a presence in your community and begin to introduce local people. It's where you can meet school contacts, you can network with different people. It's also a time to get away from the kids and work by yourself and have some adult time. And depending with sales and stuff from a booth, you can also a great way to earn free books for your family. Because often if you are using consignment or stuff, you can enter sales has a book fair. And because you're not working with a school, you get that 50% back in free books to build your family library, personal inventory, etc. So where do you find a booth? So I found most of my booths by just having open ears. I was a new consultant. I heard about the preschool book fair. There are clientele, so go sign up. Listen to the radio. Find out when they're having family events, baby expos, community calendars, community Facebook pages when there's different kinds of events, words of mouth. YMCA, farmers markets, craft fairs, holiday festivals, benefit events. So there's lots of different places to look. Get creative. A lot of areas have vendor groups that you can join for your local area that will have information about events that are looking for vendors. And if you go to events, you can ask other people who are there where else they sell their product. And work. I saw a post on Facebook, somebody asking about doing a vendor day at their local mall. But in their same comment, they said, when I go to the mall and see vendors, I don't want to look at them. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to look at the vendors, you don't want to be a vendor because you want people to you don't want people to look away from you. So think about the purpose of the event and what, if it's going to be a good fit for where you want to take your business and who you expect to see there. So So, home office policy. It is important. If you want to do a booth, who can do one? An active consultant. So, that's anyone who has had $500 cumulative sales over the previous 3 months when they sign up for the event. So, that's a rolling 3 months when you sign up for the event. Or any consultant in their incentive period. So, you must live within 150 miles of the event. Any school-related booth must be done by an EC, by a listed EC. So PTA events, sports club, fundraiser vendor events, a library fundraiser, school carnivals, all of those kinds of things must be done by an EC, a listed EC. So, and always register when you do a booth event has Usborne Books and More. Not UBAM, not Usborne, not Randall's Reading Corner, always Usborne Books and More. And again, that's for the benefit of everyone, so that if, when you call, like other things, to say, is somebody working with you already, they're looking for the same term. So, again, so when you contact an organization, the first thing you want to do is inquire if they're already working with an Usborne representative. If an Usborne representative will be at the event. If they will, great, that's awesome, have fun, you're done. If they're not, then you can continue to pursue it and ask if they have worked with somebody in the past, and depending how far out from the event, whether or not you can continue to sign up. So all this information is in your consultant's toolbox and in your handbook as a consultant. So if they worked with somebody before, that person has up until 30 days before the date of the event to sign up. If it's within 30 days, then you may sign up. Up until that point, it is still theirs to sign up for. So here's a couple examples of booths I've done. This was a YMCA Healthy Kids Day. It was a free event. We did not have consignment. Again, I paired up with Stephanie. And the purpose of our booth was to get leads. We were not selling anything on the table. That was our choice. I think we would do it differently because we were just getting started. This was the second booth we did right after the preschool one I just showed you. And so we were getting slips to follow up for party leads, for school leads, for preschool leads, and we got all of those and were able to follow up with them. It's a good, you want to make your booth look fun and have things like bookmarks or stickers to give away. And you want to have signage on your table to earn free books, host a party, to give that information and make it exciting so people want to come to your booth. Another thing is, when you're making your display, having things like crates and bins from the dollar store are a great way to add height to your display and make it interesting. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and they're great flexible things. You can use crates to display books, and you can also use them to store your books apart. So this was a craft fair, and I was able to have consignment. For this, the sales was a higher focus for the event, and also building a customer base for the event. But depending on your event, you want to be able to know the space where you are. There was taped on the ground, and I did not know I had a corner booth space. So I would have set up my booth differently, probably had a table instead of this rack, because somebody was always going to look at the back of my rack. When you have consignment, you want a great place to start. Once you're out of your incentive period, you can begin to check out consignment. If you're inside your incentive period and you think your event needs consignment, talk to your team leader and they can help you find solutions for that. When you're picking consignment books, a great place to start is the top 100 list on the website. And you will sell what you love. So pick the books that you love, and those are the ones that you will sell. If you're looking for book racks for displays, you can find them on Craigslist, or there's one of the options in the back office. Preferred Suppliers also has racks as well. This was a very large booth that I did, going for broke. Brand new consultant. I signed up for a large regional expo, 2-day expo in our community, and recruited some team members saying, hey, I'm going to need help doing this event. You love books. This would be a great place to get started. Come join my team. So I was able to build my team with that in mind and bring new team members along with to help build their business by getting their own leads. So it was great for that. We had lots of consignment, lots of things going on in our booth. When you have a booth, there's often different fees involved for it, and the fees are often representative of what the event is. A great rule of thumb is never pay more than you're willing to lose, and anything over $50, it can be a good time to talk to your team leader about whether or not it's worth it, if it's a good investment. During your event at a booth, you want to have your 30-second commercial ready to bring them in and explain to them what Usborne Books and More is. Gauge their interest, offer information, and be proactive about follow-up by using booth slips to collect their information so you can follow up as they're interested. Drawing people into a booth by saying, enter my door prize, is going to get you a lot of slips, but it's not going to get you a lot of bookings afterwards when you're doing follow-up. When you're doing follow-up after your event, a couple great things to do is to call anyone who has a yes or maybe for recruiting or hosting. You can text them, especially if they don't answer their phone. A lot of people screen their calls to then text instead of leaving a voicemail. And then I like to send, especially for large events, I like to send a email via MailChimp or Mad Mimi, which was discussed earlier, which you can see who responds, who clicks on it. And then I like to just talk about the business, offer the recruiting, offer a special if they decide to book a party based on this event, and then add them to my IMN so I continue to stay in touch with them and so they can get my monthly newsletter. So, measuring a successful booth. Sales are not always going to happen at a booth. So, but I like to measure my booth 4 different ways. So, did I receive bookings? Did I receive leads for future business? And did my sales pay for my booth? Sales, that's the extent of my goals. The goal of my sales for my booth is basically that my commission pays for the event. So I'm not losing money on it. But, so, great place to get started and a great tool to add to your toolbox as far as building a strong business with your Usborne.